Hi, this video will show you how to store the details of a pattern into the Sewing Pattern Buddy app. First of all, press the plus or add button here at the top. This opens up the add pattern screen. First enter the pattern company, just tap on where it says select a pattern company. It now gives you a list of the pattern companies currently available in the app. If you want to add a company not on the list, no problem, you can add one. Just tap add new. Now tap where it says pattern company name and type in the name that you want. I'm adding a pattern by a company called Mordella. And hey presto, your new pattern company has been saved and it's already selected for you. Hit OK so we can enter more details about our pattern. The next thing to enter is the pattern number or pattern name. You literally just tap where it says enter pattern number or name and then type it in, switching to the numeric keyboard if necessary. And then done, or enter it might say on your keyboard. Okay, now the pattern company and the number or name are the only two pieces of information you have to enter to be able to store the pattern. But realistically, that's not going to be very helpful. So now I'll quickly run through the rest of the information you can enter and give you some hints and tips along the way. Garment types is where you can record what your pattern includes, such as skirt and top. Again, you can add new garment types to the list by tapping add new. And my new garment type is a playsuit. Okay, and see it's selected there, and now OK. Go back to the previous screen. Next we have era, which is especially handy for collectors of vintage patterns. This pattern is 1950s. If you know the year the pattern was produced, you can enter it in the next field. Now we get to size. Since sizes are not standard, I've chosen to use body measurements. First choose metric or imperial, then enter the relevant measurements. So I have 38 and 38 bust, 42 hip. And then OK. So now you can see the measurements of your pattern in both the metric and imperial, so that's quite useful. Next, rate your pattern from 1 to 5 stars. Alright, photos are next. You can take a photo from your phone by pressing this camera button. Just line it up. Take the photo. Yes, that's okay. I would also take a photo of the back of the envelope, and if I had some fabric lined up, I could also take a photo of the fabric. Now, just one thing, you can edit the photo at this point by just tapping on the photo and then tapping this pencil at the top right hand corner, so you can crop it and rotate it if necessary in here. I don't need to do that, so I'll just exit out. So done. Alright. Oh, the other way of storing a photo is by tapping the File button just to the right of the camera button. Right, tags are next. Tags are really cool, as you'll see. Currently, there are no tags available in the app because I want you to be able to customize them to your own requirements. Some of the things you could use as tags are pleats, full skirt, asymmetric, beach, factory folds, summer, must make. You get the idea. These tags are yours to use however you want. So I'm going to add a few tags here. First of all, I'm going to add beach. And I'm going to add one called must make. And then OK. Right, next is something called notes, which is a place where you can type in some notes about the pattern. It could be anything you want, such as sizing runs large, daughter wants me to make this for her, or Notion's 7-inch zip 8 buttons. It's totally up to you. Now, that may seem like a lot of information you can store, but there's more. Just tap on More Details to reveal. Fabric required. This is a way for you to store the yardage for the most probable size you will make out of the most probable fabric width you might buy. It will give you a rough estimate of the fabric needed for the pattern, so later on you can sort your patterns by fabric required. More detailed information is on the back of your pattern envelope, which you probably took a photo of earlier. So again, select centimetres or inches, and then put in a width and length. So my pattern is 36 width and 63 inch length. And then OK. Next up is skill level, which is self-explanatory. Now we have pattern types. This is another really useful thing. I've not put any pattern types in already, as you may want to use this in ways I haven't even thought of. So to give you some examples of things you could use, reproduction, designer, maternity, costume, home decorating, PDF, magazine, self-drafted. I'm going to add one called paper because this is a paper pattern. And that's it for me. Next, you have a way of storing whether you've made a pattern or not, or if it's currently in progress. I haven't made this one. Next up is pattern complete, which is mainly for vintage patterns, as often there are pattern pieces or instructions missing. If anything is missing, you'll be able to type that information in here too. This one's complete. Following that, there are a few fields to record where you got the pattern from, when, and how much it cost. Right, are the pattern pieces printed or unprinted? Store that information in the next field. If you have a large pattern collection, like myself, you may have patterns in different locations, so you can save that information in the location field. Just type in whatever you want. I'm going to put in box 1. Number of copies is self-explanatory, and for the condition you can type in whatever you want. Lastly, we have website address. Have you found a tutorial for the pattern, or have you made it and want to store your blog post page? If it's a pattern that's currently in print, you could go to the pattern company's website and store the address of that pattern's page. It's up to you. Right, that's a lot of information. However, please don't get overwhelmed by it all. You only need to store the information which is useful to you. So now press save and admire your very first pattern. The next video shows what you can do once you've got a few patterns stored. See you then.